like, you wanna fuck around, yeah? You fucking little Asian dog? Yeah? 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 Get the fuck out of here now! Who the fuck do you think you're talking to? Who? Yeah, what? What, big bitch now? Fuck off!
Just go away.
Exactly, you dumb bitch! Walk away now, you fucking Asian dog! Let's have a fucking go! Let's have a go! You want to talk shit? You want to talk shit? I'm not gonna walk, you dumb slut! Shut the fuck up! Exactly, you dumb bitch! Dumb bitch! Asian bitch, you walk around in these fucking slut!
I have no words. That is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
Yeah.
I feel physically sick.
Yeah. It's really disturbing, isn't it? Seeing that level of hatred and that kind of verbal and physical attack and intimidation. And what's more disturbing about that is that some of our leaders are actually using that type of terminology. And, you know, for people who really look up to those leaders and are going to take on board the opinions that they're having about what's going on, it's kind of disturbing to think about how that could filter down and how that could really impact how we're treating each other.
Walk away now, you fucking Asian dog! Let's have a fucking go! Let's have a go! You want to talk shit? You want to talk shit? I'm not gonna walk, you dumb slut!
As it is, the world is in a crisis, and then sort of turning against each other and attacking each other. It's really, there's a lot of risk there. Yeah.
And this really speaks to me so loudly about how much of an impact media and our leaders have on our own opinions. So let's rewind 3 years. Everyone's hating on Muslims. Right? No one's talking about Muslims at the moment.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden everyone's directing hate towards Asians, and it's like the switch can just be flipped.
Yeah.
And as soon as the media starts giving information, or as soon as people start talking to each other with misinformation and theories about what's actually going on, how dangerous it is for these people in these communities.
Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up, bitch! Let's go!
Do you think that, laying that blame is a defense mechanism for people? You know, like, it's such uncertain times, we don't know what's going on, we don't know what's going to happen, and so we try and kind of grapple onto anything that we can to kind of exert some sense of control. So, hey, let's blame them, or let's blame them. And that's a way of us feeling like we have some kind of manner of control in this situation.
Yeah, and channeling anger.
Our stress.
So that anger comes out, we've got to direct it towards someone or something.
Yeah. Because we know with that, what we use a lot in our work is that iceberg of anger. Is that anger is only one part of the picture.
It's the tip of the iceberg.
And what's underneath is all of those other things that are going on, the fear,
anxiety, sadness,
uncertainty, disappointment, grief,
worthlessness, feeling stuck.
And you can imagine, like, when I also watch that video, I think about what kind of family environment that young girl is from. Like, where does she get the idea that kind of behaviour and that treatment is something that's okay? I'm sure that there's a certain level of trauma in her family that makes her, behave that way too. And, we know that, like, we are the essence of the people that we surround ourselves with. So, thinking about how us as parents can also have a massive impact on our kids during this time too.
Absolutely. So this sort of news story also brings to light, I think, a little bit, well, it makes me think about when we're in crisis, how many of us in the society turn to alcohol or drugs. And then when we're under the influence of, say, methamphetamines or too much alcohol, how we become quite impulsive and irrational. We're not using the rational parts of our brain, we're using the irrational parts of our brain. So then when we're under the
and
influence...
those emotional centres are elevated, aren't they?
They are so
they
elevated.
take over.
It's like they're on fire, and they're like totally flooding all the rational centres of our brain. And then it's leading to scenes like this. Now, I'm not saying that this young woman is necessarily under the influence of drugs or alcohol, but it certainly reminds me of scenes that I do see with people presenting at hospitals with our medical staff, ambulance officers. I know I saw an article recently about a young 15-year-old girl who was working at Woolworths, and she had to tell somebody to put some of their shopping back because they were panic buying, and then she got verbally assaulted really badly and is now unable to return to work because she's quite traumatised from the experience and fearful to go back. She works at Woolworths.
If you find these videos helpful, hit the subscribe button and we'll see you next time.